Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Token 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy. Where you at? Shout out to Kevin, rapping boys out here telling baby, I'm the hardest nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fake. I don't know if he was Chamberlain, Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas. One day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. We gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. Take a hit out to Token 2. Slipping hella shots. Feel like Tyson with the peak with little Glock on my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out, man, chatting real shit. That's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sin. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a can. Hey, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you could never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, just a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the street, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the street, gotta do it for the champ. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
All right, all right. Good evening, everyone who's in here, man. This is Bruce Gas. Boxing, jazz, and more. A little jazz going on there. I think I gotta cut that down a little bit so you can hear me. There we are. That's the Dave Mooney Quintet. They're playing live as we speak at Small Jazz Club in Greenwich Village in the Big Apple, New York City. You got John Ellis on the tenor sax. Dave Mooney playing his guitar. Zen Gasselkip on the bass, on the piano. Matt Koleski on the bass and James McBride on the drums. And they're gonna keep us going while we see this great fight that happened 32 years ago, 1992. Great fight, man. This was the 1988 Olympian Ray Mercer against the old veteran Larry Holmes, veteran of 20 successful title defenses, then retired. Don King shook him up, got him off the couch, fed him to Mike Tyson. We thought that might be the end of Larry Holmes, but no, Larry had other ideas. And in this fight, we like to call it Larry found his fountain of youth. Let me shout out who came in here, man. I appreciate Just K, brother. Thank you, man, for coming in. Just Frank. I got a lot of just cats in here today, man. My brother Just Frank. Daniel Berry, shout out to you, man. My brother Skywalker. Salute my brother, the Green Drag. Well, I didn't put that on the poll because I don't think anybody actually has experienced the Green Dragon, so they can't really judge on the Green Dragon without experiencing it. Stop Motion MMA, salute my brother. 306 from the sticks, man. Peace to you, bro. You know what I discovered the last couple of days? I discovered the vapes. I never had a vape in my life. Last week I bought a couple of them. This one here is the I don't even know the brand of it. I think I got a box somewhere. Yeah, I think this is the box that it came in. Dabwoods. Hey, Dabwoods. And this is a sativa. I'm really an indica person. Well, that reminded me. See, I went down there and I saw my supplement bin here. And I haven't taken my PM supplements. See, and today is Wednesday, PM. See, I keep them in this little crazy little pill thing. I guess it's made especially for old people like myself. But see, I take nutritional supplements. I think they're very important in keeping optimal health. And I take 4 in the PM. And they include a flax oil, a 1 gram of flaxseed oil, 1 gram of vitamin C, an osteobiflex, which is glucosamine chondroitin. It's got boswellia in there, some turmeric. Good things to keep the inflammation away from the joints. I popped that. I think this other one. This one's called. Excuse me, man. This one is called. Let me pop it first. I even forgot what it's called. It's called Condium, and it's silk protein, and that's the most studied nutritional supplement for memory usage. And I don't want to lose my memory, so I figure I'll try it. I've been taking it for a few years. I'm kind of sharp. I don't forget everything, man. Live boxing on Pro Box on YouTube, man. Hey, man, don't come in here and chase people out of here. I'm trying to do a show over here, my brother. Cheapest way to vape: buy an ounce of distillate and a bottle of terps, and I got a hell of a deal. You know, I make the extract anyway. But like I said, man, I got these online. This is a 1 grape pen, a 1 gram vape pen. It was like $30. It's a sour diesel, and it's a real convenient thing, man. I'm not gonna drop that Toka 2, you know that. But this is very handy, especially when I'm out and about. Just pull it out of the pocket. little bit of a tickle there, but like I said, man, $30 for this 1 gram, and then I got a real deal. This is a 2 gram vape pen. And I got this for $35, and this is Wedding Crusher. It's a nice hybrid. A lot of indica in here, man, and it's basically a 50-50 mixture. Real tasty and real convenient. You can see I use this much. I don't know how much is in there, but it's 2 grams. I believe 2 grams are worth 2 grams are worth equivalent to between 500 and 600 hits. So for $30, what does that come out to? Like 50 cents a hit? That's digging on that tenor sax back there. Just crops on the Godfather OG. Definitely a strain worth trying. Cropped or copped? You're a growing man, my brother. Hey, my man Demetrius Bright, how we doing, my man? Salute to you, bro. Thank you much for stopping by. Always appreciate seeing you in here. But yeah, man, this was an amazing fight, bro. You gotta go back. You gotta take yourself back to 1992. Larry Holmes was the shits from 1978 to about 1985. Larry ruled the heavyweight division. No ifs, ands, or buts. He had 20 successful defenses. He beat everybody out there, man. You know, he every contender. He had a great fight with Ken Norton where he won the title. It's legal to grow in Canada. See, it's legal in Rhode Island too, bro. But I'm just not as good a grower as the professionals. I've tried it many times. It comes out all right, but I like the finest. I mean, I like the best weed available. If I'm gonna combust something up, put it down my throat, in my lungs, and this and that, man. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real good. But I try it every year. We find the seeds and we throw some out there, and it comes up. It looks really good. But the I don't know, the final product. I'm just not a Jack Heron, a Johnny Appleseed, or whatever it may be. But I just don't have that. I just don't have that talent. I'm sure if I really devoted myself into it, the guys that grow up from are total dopes. Godfather OG was the G. Yeah, Godfather. We've had, so many different names right now. I can't even keep track of all this. Every time I turn around, there's a different strain coming out. But I still love the Toka 2. I've been on that Toka 2 since 1974. I've probably had maybe 5 of them in that time. I've never had that weed that's like the 30%. A friend of mine came down the other day and told me that the stuff he had was 30%, and it was decent. But those percentage things, they're crazy, bro. They're definitely off the charts. I'll tell you, man, this Davey Mooney, hell of a guitar player. Hell of a picker. This is a new jazz. See, this would sound a lot to me like maybe a Wes Montgomery. A little bit of Pat Martino in there. But see, this is the new age. This is like boxing. We can't go back and listen to Miles Davis forever. We can't dig on George Benson, Pat Martino. We gotta explore the new talent, just like boxing today. Tomorrow night we got a great fight coming out, man. We got a fantastic evening of boxing, top rank boxing. Teofimo Lopez, Ortiz. I got my brother Leon Mohammed is going to come up here tomorrow night before the fight start, talk a little bit about it, because Leon is very, very closely associated with Top Rank. Still to this day, 80 years old, and he's still advising the promoters at Top Rank. He's still talking to Bob Arum. He's still got his foot in the game. He called me up today. He said he wants to talk a little bit about the fight before it starts. I said, shit, a legend like Leon Mohammed calling me up and asking me if I want to do a show with him. Damn. I wish I could pay you, brother. It's going to be interesting. But tonight we're going back to 1992. On this day in 1992. Yeah, I love that Thursday night shit, bro. I cannot believe they're doing that. But that's the way it used to be back in the day, man. Friday nights was a big fight night. In fact, this Larry Holmes Ray Mercer fight, this was on TDKO. That was a nice little pay-per-view thing that they had on what was it called? Request TV, where they had the movies on every night, and you could and weekends they put the TKO on there once a month, and that was a cool thing. I had the black box, so I never paid for it, but it was 1995, and they put the Larry Holmes Ray Mercer fight in there. That was one of the fights they had. Great fights on this TVKO series. But let's look at these participants in this great fight today, man. This was Ray Mercer, merciless Ray Mercer. Ray's coming off the 1988 Olympics. When Ray turned pro, Mike Tyson was already past his prime. Well, that's a fight we weren't going to see. But Ray went on. Ray was he won the second. He was the second WBO heavyweight champion of the world, and he didn't care about that title then. He gave that title up because he was supposed, after he beat Tommy Morrison, he won the WBO title. Tommy Morrison had beaten George Foreman, and Ray annihilated Tommy Morrison. And he won that WBO title. He was supposed to fight top contender Michael Moorer, who became a heavyweight champion. He's going to be inducted into into the Hall of Fame in the class of 2024. So it's Ray wanted a stepping stone. Ray thought it was going to be an easy fight. He was going to get Larry Holmes' scalp on his plate. Larry had only been beaten once in his. Larry had been beaten 3 times in his career. He had 3 losses. He had the 2 losses to Michael Spinks, and he had the loss to Mike Tyson. People expected Larry Holmes to come in there and have his loss number 4. Ray Mercer's on a hot streak. Ray Mercer was going to put out the comebacking 42-year-old comebacking Larry Holmes. Ray Mercer's 30 years old. Who's that drummer? I gotta go check out and see what that drummer is on this man. Jimmy McBride, very famous name in jazz. I wonder if he's related to the classic bass player. I'm smoking the red roots on the flower in the morning of my weed journey here tonight. And water, man, water is just so important. I stress it every time I go online. The only thing I drink, but I implore you, drink whatever you want to drink, but make sure you get your fill of water. Water is a beautiful thing. It's going to keep your kidneys hydrated. It's going to keep your internal organs, your liver, your skin, everything, man. Everything that you drink, your body breaks that down to get to the water content of it. Right here, man. My custom-made glass by my brother Blood Boxing. Check that out, man. Blues, gas, boxing, jazz, and more. It'll be available in the merch store sooner than later. Miles Davis down the bottom with Marvelous Marvin Hagler and my man Curtis Anderson peeking through up top there, bro. Yeah, applause. I don't have an applause meter, but that would be the applause for the great work my sister Fistiana and my brother Blood made for me. But this fight was at the convention center in Atlantic City. We don't see too many big fights over here in Atlantic City anymore. Atlantic City Convention Center, that was run by Donald King, I believe, but excuse me, Donald Trump. Don King was in there. This was a Don King promotion. We had Steve Smoger for the referee, Henry Grant, Phil Newman, and John Puja as the judges. And I mean, we're gonna watch that fight because this was definitely one worth watching, and I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. If not, hey, all in the name of boxing, for the love of boxing. But I'm gonna bring it up here. I was hoping my friend Nick M would have it on his channel because Nick M, he let me show anything on here, bro. He's a true brother. He's an Englishman. And he's got a great channel of classic fights. But I brought this one up, man. I think this is let's see, who's the content creator of this? I think it might be Gary Wilson, another guy that's got a great channel with some great fights on there. But let's bring this fight up here, man. Let's see what's going on. Wait a minute here, man. I don't think this is working quite right here. Let me remove this. Bring this other one back up here. Here we go, man. Here we go. The tail of the tape. CompuBox. You haven't seen CompuBox out there in a long time. Hey, my brother Gil Coles, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sure you saw this fight, Gil. This was a great fight, man. In fact, I don't know how old any of you cats are. Like I said, this fight was 32 years ago today. So I guess you got to kind of be in your. We're all getting out there, man. But this was a cool fight on a Friday night. The legendary Knockout TV series. We're getting through all the technicalities before the fight. There's something about having a fight in New Jersey too, man. You can almost see the difference. The air's darker. It's almost like a smokier feel. You got the great Michael Buffer. This dude is one of the richest guys in the freaking involved in boxing. He's like practically a billionaire. Michael Buffer used his money wisely. Great referee. They still call him today. He gets $1 million to go out there and announce a WrestleMania. Announce like the main event. My brother Carl, how we doing, man? The boxing kangaroo, bro. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. All is definitely good, my bro. Good morning to you. Good day, Mike. But yeah, Ray Mercer thought this was going to be easy pickings. Steve Smoger, classic referee, bro. Anybody been watching them fights back in the day, you've got to remember Steve Smoger. I spoke to Ray Mercer about this fight. I asked him about it. He just said Joe Frazier. Philadelphia's own Joe Frazier in the ring. Joe looked good, man. Joe caught pancreatic cancer and passed away a few years ago. And it was a sad thing, man. Watching Joe died nearly penniless. He still had his gym in Philadelphia. And I remember watching a special on him. And he's sitting there, he's eating a can of Hardy Man's Campbell's soup. He's cooking over a hot plate. And I'm saying, man, this guy should have a chef preparing a 5-star gourmet meal. Larry Holmes, 56 fights. I believe he's got 3 defeats going into this fight. And Larry was on a comeback here, man. And see, Don King took care of Larry. Don King told him, he says, Larry, you come back, I'm going to give you title fights. And Larry had to win this fight. His next fight would be with Evander Holyfield. And the same thing happened with Mercer. If Mercer won this fight, he would have gotten Evander Holyfield for the title. And Larry was the sentimental favorite. That's the thing about Larry, man. Larry had his career, and he was a son of a bitch. Nobody liked Larry Holmes. Larry didn't have a good word to say about anybody. He'd been screwed over, and he wasn't going to get screwed over again. And so Larry kept a real tight, close group of friends. Even back in the day when there wasn't a lot of interviews and stuff, Larry kept the interviews to a minimal. He wanted money whenever he did an interview. He still does today. I talked to a few people and they said, Larry wants a couple of $100 just to sit behind a YouTube fucking microphone. I said, come on. Yeah, even if his brother, Larry still wants the money if his brother does the interview. But man, Larry does deserve it, bro. Here he is at Trump Plaza on January 7th, 1992 against Merciless Ray Mercer. And Merciless Ray Mercer just did a job on Tommy Morrison. Beat the fucking shit out of him. I mean, the referee should have stopped the fight sooner. It was that bad a beating. If you haven't seen it, it's only a 4-round fight, 4 or 5 round fight. Go check that one out, man. It's a slugfest. Merciless Ray, I think he came in this fight a little full of himself. He was a 4-1 favorite. Just beating up everybody out there, man. Like I said, he didn't even keep the heavyweight championship of the world today, the WBO, one of the big 4. It wasn't really considered a serious title back then. So Big Ray, he threw it in the trash can like Riddick Bowe threw the WBC belt in there. You know, I'd like to ask him if he thought it was a mistake to do that. But then if he didn't do that, Larry Holmes would have been one of the few heavyweights to recapture the heavyweight championship. And you can see Larry's got all kind of angles. Sticking out that jab, Larry will hold you off. He knows how to do it. He gets away with these things. He did that his whole career. He'd stick that jab, just kind of push you off, hold you at bay with it. And it's funny, he always gets set real fast, one quick motion, real quick 1-2 combination. Very powerful, underrated right hand, man. Many fighters felt the wrath of Larry's right hand, man. Jerry Cooney early in the fight got dropped on his ass from a quick combination from Larry Holmes. Knows how to tie you up. He's already talking to Ray. He's already talking to Ray Mercer in there. Ray's Ray says, you ain't gonna manhandle me, Larry. You ain't gonna manhandle me. He said, you're an old man. And Larry, man, Larry drank from that fountain of youth before this fight. Larry just hold him at bay with that left jab. Not even the jab. He's like sticking it in his face, just kind of keeping him at arm's length, dropping the right hand. I mean, getting away with murder here. But Steve Smoger, probably just in awe of being in there. See, Mercer hurts him a little bit, tries to finish up, man. Larry's just got every trick in the book, man. Veteran of over 50 professional fights. And Ray Mercer's trying to open up on Larry Holmes in the corner. Boom! Well, I remember watching this, and it was great camera angles, if I recall. And I'm seeing it now. You were watching Larry just bait these traps, get Ray Mercer coming in, and all of a sudden come on with these punches, get through that guard, get through the high guard. I mean, Larry was just this is the fight that he truly found the fountain of youth. This fight made me a Larry Holmes fan. And believe me, I was not a Larry Holmes fan throughout his career, especially after the defeat, after he defeated Muhammad Ali. Although, you know, I look back on it now, and fighters, they do what they're paid to do, they do what they're programmed for. So, I mean, I never have any hard feelings against any fighter. They're special breeds, and right here, man, we really have a special breed, two special breeds. What happened to these guys? I didn't tell them to take a break. Come on, guys. Here we go. Okay. Well, once again, you're showing the highlights. Ray Mercer nails him with a left hook, tries to follow up on it. Larry, Larry's a guy that he can be hit, but he's got great recuperative powers and he's got great defense. But oh yeah, he felt that when he was doing the stanky leg there. And Ray trying to land that big right hand that's taking care of so many opponents. I don't think so, Kangaroo. You know, once Larry gets in the groove too, Larry takes a few rounds to loosen up, get in the groove over here. And you know, Mercer's going to try to jab Larry Holmes. Man, that's just not going to happen. Big mistake right there. Larry's got a great defense where he'll slip a punch, drop an overhand right all night long. A little more of this Wedding Crasher. Another interesting brand. Interesting name anyway. But it's a nice hybrid smoke. I'm kind of liking hybrids, especially during the day. Something about indica, you know, I got this vape of the sour diesel. It's okay, but indica wears off fast. And it's I like the full body high. Oh, look at Ray. Ray missing by a mile. Larry countering with the uppercuts. You know, Larry must be feeling good in that ring right now. I'm looking at YouTube and the fights are not coming in good at all, bro. This is a terrible transmission here. I don't know why. It's coming in great on StreamYard, but then when I go to YouTube, it's almost like it's freezing up all the time. 1,000 pardons out there. Man, I don't know. Maybe my computer's got too much memory and stuff in there now. look on my phone and see if it's coming in as bad as it is on my. I'll look on my other computer, my laptop over here, because this is not good. Yeah, it's dragging like hell, man. I'm really sorry about that. That is terrible. That is terrible. I'm gonna have to do something about my internet towers over here. I always prided myself of having a top flight system. It must be slowing down in its old age. But as you can see, man, Larry Holmes is he's got his trainer Don Turner. He's feeling good. He's drinking from that fountain of youth over here, man. Yeah, this is just coming in terrible, man. Bumming me right out. I'm gonna have to call my computer guy tomorrow. See if I can get this straightened out. Because this I don't show a lot of fights anymore anyway, because you usually get copy written for them. But at least I'm going to show one. Yeah, I remember this Larry. This is when Larry Holmes was calling him in the corner, saying, "I'm not Tommy Morrison here." But I'll tell you, the quality of my internet speed, something's wrong with it over here. Right now, Ray Mercer has Larry Holmes in the corner, and Larry Holmes is just basically playing with him, keeping that jab, keeping Ray out of harm's reach with that straight jab. Uppercut. Ray's landing a few punches in there. It's not like you're talking to an undefeated gold medalist Olympian coming off a great victory over Tommy Morrison. And like I said earlier, people thought that Ray Mercer was going to have a field day with Larry Holmes. It turned out to be the other way around. Now Ray got a few shots in there, but it didn't discourage Larry. Larry, unbelievable inside fighting from Larry Holmes, something you don't see too often, man. Oof. Great body shots by Larry Holmes. Now this is not going to work. This is just I know I'm torturing you showing this fight right now, and with this terrible speed that I have here. You know, Larry's cuffing him. He's sticking that jab out, just holding Ray at bay, then bouncing on him with a great combination. And Ray Mercer was almost he had an anvil for a chin. Ray didn't get stopped till later on in his career, and Klitschko stopped him, and Shannon Briggs stopped him. But aside from that, Ray Mercer didn't even get knocked down. Ray Mercer had an anvil for a chin, hardly got hurt. But over here you can see Larry Holmes is just he's having a field day with Ray Mercer. Hey, my brother Clarence, how we doing, my man? Thank you much for stopping by. I'm just going through an old fight over here, and I'm really sorry about the way it's coming out on YouTube. Let me take a look over on Facebook and see if it's coming out as bad as it is here. You see, I can. Bear with me for a second here. Bear with me for a second here. No, it takes me right back to Facebook, and yeah, it's dragging. It's dragging, and it hurts me so to Hey, Q-Ball, how we doing, brother? Smoke is definitely good tonight, man. I've discovered the world of vaping. You know, in all my years of over 50 plus years of smoking the herb, I never bought myself a vape. I tried them from a few people, but I never purchased one. And I just did. And I'm finding that the world of vaping is very, very exciting way to be. But we're in the 4th round. And you know, I don't think I can show this whole 10 rounds because this is coming in terrible. You know, I'm not doing you guys justice by showing that fight. If I brought it up again, I'm gonna see if it maybe it'll show let's see if it and I can see it dragging. It's weird, man. YouTube has got problems. On my computer does for YouTube. It's coming in great on the it's coming in great because I'm watching it on YouTube. But when I try to rebroadcast it, my computer must be too slow. But Larry Holmes won this fight, man. Larry Holmes gave Ray Mercer a boxing lesson. It was he outslipped Mercer. He won by resounding scores: 117, 111, 117, 112, 115, 113, which is very generous from Mercer, because really, Ray Mercer did not deserve very many rounds in this fight. I'm gonna find another broadcast and see if I can bring it up here and see if it's just as bad. I kind of got a feeling it's going to be, but I'm gonna look for it. Let's see. I'm at the 4th round. So bear with me for 1 second. All right, let's see if this comes in any better. I kind of got a feeling it won't. I can already see it in the in my preview screen. Dragging like hell. See if this makes a difference. No? Yeah, see, this is coming in. Coming in just as bad. Yeah, it's I don't have the ability to share anymore, and that's how it is. But it was a great fight nonetheless. And like I said, man, Larry Holmes just had He did everything he wanted to do with Ray Mercer in this fight. He was too smart, too slick. He had that power in that right hand to keep Ray Mercer honest. He was just too much for Merciless Ray in this fight. And what can you say, man? Larry Holmes was the man on the 32 years ago tonight. Larry Holmes was truly the man. Outclassed Merciless Ray. Beat him every which way. Hey, my brother Michael Johnson, shout out to you, man. Always like your shows, man. Kind of gets me when I'm getting up in the morning. I put them on. And always puts a smile on my face, brother. Shout out to my brother Michael Johnson, man. Good boxing head. Takes no shit from nobody. Knows what he's talking about. Knows where he's coming from. And if you want a entertaining AM show, catch Michael Johnson on the way to work, man. Go give him a sub. You know, I find I'm getting a lot of subs lately because I must have picked up 20 subs this week, at least. I've been doing shorts. And those shorts are pretty cool to do, man. You get the one I did today. I did this one. I did the Larry Holmes and the Ray Mercer fight. And let me take a look and see how many views I got on that so far. 2,400 views. I put it out at noontime today, and I picked up a lot of subs with it too. Like I said, man, I broke the I'm at 1,069 right now. I think I need one or two to make 1,070. Like I was at 1,500 for a long time. And my friend Brian Robinson, who does Tim Witherspoon's work, he says, bro, you gotta put those shorts up. And I got a crappy phone, so I wasn't having too much luck with the shorts, but I just been talking over fights and kind of like doing on this day kind of things on there, and they're getting more and more hits. I guess they're getting in that algorithm, and from those shorts, I'm getting subs because if you go into your studio, it'll tell you how many subs you gained from the people who saw your shorts. So the shorts are definitely a cool thing to do. Little bass starting that tune off. Well, we got a nice card coming for us tomorrow night, and I'll be on here doing it, man, for sure. Let's check out the entire card. Dog, I put you out a little bit early. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. And why my dog's over here bugging me to go out because he knows that I give him cookies when I bring them in. I don't want to say that. The thing is so smart. He even knows when I'm saying COOKIES because he's sitting right here waiting. But I put him out a couple of hours ago. He did his thing. He can bug me at around 11 o'clock tonight. Because the later I put him out, that's the later he'll need to go out in the morning. And I go for a walk every day. I love walking every day, man. Go for a walk. I'm going to say around 2.5 miles a day. And I go a mile and a half in the morning and about a mile in the afternoon. But fresh air, put some tunes on in the earbuds, and just get the head together. And since I got these fucking vapes, I've been bringing this sucker with me. I'll tell you stop motion. Back in it was 80s, we had so much boxing in the 80s. Because this was the advent of ESPN and USA. So you had ESPN fights on like Monday nights, or I'm sorry, Tuesday, whatever it may be. Then USA came on there, and plus ESPN was showing a lot of old fights too. So they had boxing on almost every night on cable, and then you still had your weekend boxing from the 70s. You still had ABC's Wide World of Sports and Sports Spectacular. So the 80s, I'm going to say the 80s was definitely the saturation of boxing. Today we have the internet, and we don't have to rely on the networks. So these apps or these internet, I guess the word is apps. I always try to fight that off as long as I can. That's a new one there, man. But yeah, man, back then, and right around that time too was the advent of HBO. I mean, HBO was always a player, but HBO started showing more quality fights. So it was a plethora of boxing. Probably more quantity today, but the quality that we were getting back then, and still a lot. Still the quantity was there too, but the quality was exceptional. And I don't know why. I don't know why it's changed so much. You know, I talked to some of the OGs, like, tomorrow night we're gonna have Leon on here, and Leon's always got something interesting and exciting to say about what's going on with boxing today. He's telling me today about the kids in the game. And he's like, and he was going on about it, man. These fucking kids, they don't want to listen. They don't want to train, and he was going on about it. I'm sure tomorrow he's going to have a lot to say about the state of boxing. You know what I'm thinking, man? I'm thinking maybe it's dragging because I'm on a fucking VPN. What if I shut that VPN off? I've been thrown off a few platforms because the VPN takes up a lot of power. And I guess, going to Japan. So maybe that's it right there. But now I'm kind of looking at my Facebook thing and it's still kind of freezing a little bit. But let's see. Yeah, they had the weigh-in was today, bro. Ortiz and Lopez, they both made weight. They both look lean and in fighting condition. And the thing about Ortiz is, man, he's from Worcester, and he's managed by Jimmy Birchfield. Birchfield's restaurant. Jimmy Birchfield's a big name in boxing, especially in New England. Promoted almost all the fights at Foxwoods, and he just showed a fight at at Mohegan Sun last weekend. Hey, my brother Charles D, how we doing, bro? And he's a busy dude. He's an older guy, and he had a restaurant in North Providence, and it was the place to go. It was called Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Restaurant. Huge, big place. It was a place where very, very Italian-y in there. The Goombas. The Drunk Irishman, salute, bro, salute. I bet if you Google Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Restaurant, I'm talking about people like Frank Sinatra would be in there when they played Providence or Boston. Elvis would go eat there. It was that kind of a place, man. It was huge quasi-formal Guido atmosphere. A lot of shit went on there, but it was but Jimmy Birchfield became a boxing promoter, and I still is to this day. He's promoting Ortiz tomorrow night. It should be interesting, man. We're gonna be watching the local boy. I saw him on stage today. He's the kind of the short guy with the gray hair, always beside Ortiz. The Drunk Irishman, you've been putting out some funny shit, brother. Anybody wants a good laugh, go subscribe to the Drunk Irishman. It's tough too, because you type it, even if you type it in YouTube, the Drunk Irishman, you're not going to get Carlos. You're going to end up somewhere else, some dude with 40,000 subs that calls himself the Drunk Irishman. I wanted to give him a slap. I wrote a couple of things on his comment page, but I don't think it did any good. So drop your links. Anybody out there, you want to get famous, man? Drop your link in here, and I guarantee you, man, we got dozens and dozens of people who view this page. It will help you out, but really the shorts are how to get those subs, man. Like I said earlier, I must have gained 30 subs this week just by dropping a couple of shorts in there. I don't know Charles D. You know, Tio, he's one of these fighters where you never know what he's going to look like when he comes in. The way he fought the Australian. How come I can't think of his name? His name is on the tip of my tongue. Begins with a K. But anyway, how did he get knocked out by Kambosos? How did he get knocked down by Kambosos and get beat by Kambosos? He looked like crap. I think he's a head game. I think he's got a lot of head games going on with himself. There we go, man. Tio be playing the game. Tio's got to conquer the head first. I've watched Tio a lot. I've watched a lot. I watch him in the public a lot at banquets and stuff like that. And I think he's got a lot of pressure in his head. I think he's got a crazy father. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. We saw Ortiz when he fought Lomachenko. He got beat. I watched the fight. It was a close fight, but it was a clear unanimous decision. Is he world class, man? In fact, you know, is Teofimo going to look world class tomorrow? That's going to make it so much more interesting. And that's why we like these fights so much, man. Let's check out the schedule. Let me bring it up over here. Look at the rest of the cards. I know we got Keyshawn Davis, the weed man. How can I not be for Keyshawn Davis, bro? I'm the weed man myself. Action starts at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to come on at 7:30. I thought it started earlier, but hey, I'll hang around, man. I'll get stoned till 10:30. I'm gonna have Leon, and you know, I get messages from Leon a lot on Facebook. You know what I think, bro? They have to fight each other, man. All of these guys are elite fighters. Until they fight each other, until they square up with each other, they could go either way, man. Shakur's so talented, but he's got no power in his punches. Gervonta, I said years ago, Gervonta had the power of a heavyweight. You know, he was taking people's heads off. But, you know, a lot of things get in these fighters' heads. We just want to see them in there with each other. They're talking about the four kings right there, right? I mean, back in a couple of years ago, they were calling these lightweights the greatest in the world. You know, they were calling them. They had the audacity to compare them to the greatest, the fabulous four. Thing about the fabulous four is they fought each other. And these guys, man, we've seen Teofimo and Lomachenko, but that's it, man. Haney and Lomachenko. I guess Lomachenko is kind of the one who's been fighting them all in there, but he's come off short on it. You know, triangle theory's out the window. We want to see fucking Teofimo and Haney and Shakur and anybody, man. Shakur's got to prove himself at 135. He's got to prove himself, period. You know, he's to me, if you're the goods, you have to have power in your punches too. And Shakur, he doesn't want to mix it up. I've heard him talk about it in interviews after fights. He wanted to please the fans in one fight. He got tapped a couple of times, and he said, yeah, Loma Shakur could happen this year. I think Shakur will beat him. I think it would probably be a dull fight. You know, unless some of these guys show me something, we're gonna see Loma and Kambosos coming up to the scene. You know, we'll see what Loma looks like in that fight. And you know, he's not even a sure bet to get by Kambosos. He looked like crap when he fought Maxie Hughes last time. You know, I thought that fight was given to him. Because I said a year ago that Bob Arum was going to put Lomachenko and Kambosos together, probably in Australia. I don't know if the fight's in Australia or not, but you could see they were a couple of freight trains heading down that path. And see, Arum knows if you can't get the best to fight the best, he's going to get the second best to fight the second best, and he's going to pawn it off as the best and the best, and it's going to be a cool fight, man. And a lot of parity there. Anything could happen. Right now, Haney and Lopez has accomplished the most. Shakur never cleared out a division. Lopez, who timed Lopez, two-time lineal champion. Yeah, man. Great fights to be made. We want to see those fights, bro. Loma will look good in a bit, but he has a lot of ring wear. Absolutely, man. Lomachenko in his last few fights, I don't think he's won fights recently. He's been on the losing end of the big fights that he's been in. So we have to see, man. You know, people wanted to see a rematch with Devin Haney. I watched that fight. I thought Lomachenko won the fight. I never watch a fight 2 or 3 times because, frankly, man, once it's over, I don't care. I move on. Move on to the next one. You do some of this wedding crasher here. Yeah, you know, Aram is a great promoter. And Aram has a love for boxing, man. Aram got his start back in the 70s. You know, he was a water boy, a top rank. Well, not for, there was no top rank, but he was a water boy. And you know, he Harvard educated lawyer with a love for boxing. The guy became a multi-billion, 90 years old. He's still eating the edibles. He says he does the edibles. He's not a smoker, but he likes the herb. You know, still getting on those planes and traveling around, man. And he's 20 years older than I am. I'd like to be doing that in 20 years. But, hey, what's going to happen when Aram dies? Is that going to be the end of Top Rank? You know, even like Don King, you know, his legacy is fizzling out, man. It's like barely embers burning in the huge fire that was Don King many moons ago. Now we're down to you know, putting on these fights by poolside down in Florida. Looks like they're going down to Home Depot and renting launch chairs. And man, it's like how far the mighty have fallen. Let me pull out. Let's see, what is this? This is the red roots right here. These are great little things to keep your bud in, these little medicine bottles. Wicked smell, airtight and light proof. The two things that are your biggest enemies to your herb, and that's light and air. Don King and Bob Arum, man, those two, bro. You know, and the thing is, both of these cats know that money makes strange bedfellows. They co-promoted some great fights, man. You know, Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. Someone told me that Don King was just given $3 million to be quiet, not attend any press conferences and say anything. Just he got the fee and he shut up. And I asked somebody about that who was in the game, and they said there's some truth to that, but I don't want to get into it. Still parties living involved in it. But yeah, man, you know, when it comes to promoting a fight, there should be enough dough to go around for everybody. See, the thing is, these fighters, they fight so infrequently, they have to make these huge purses. They have to charge pay-per-views because they have to maximize that one fight, and they're getting like one fight in a year. Garcia, my brother, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for coming by. I don't see Eddie Hearns lasting decades in boxing. I could be wrong, but it seems like he's got eyes elsewhere. Interesting theory, man. Interesting train of thought. But it's like, who's going to invest? Who wants to get involved in boxing? It's always been a dirty sport. Bob Arum was a lawyer who kind of brought it out of the back rooms. Don King, he just assumed keep it back there. You know, I mean, dude, we had the Blinky Palermos and the Frankie Carbos running boxing back in the 50s. And I mean, all the way through, it was always an underground sport. The underworld was they were into gambling. Boxing's a very easy sport to gamble on. It's two people. Fights can be fixed. Referees can be paid off. It's always been a shady sport. You know, we're hoping it's a little bit better. It's a little nicer now, man. We're hoping it comes out of the darkness. But it seems like the more things change, the more they remain the same. You know, especially in boxing. Butch Lewis was a great promoter too, man. In fact, my friend Leon, Butch Lewis was his brother-in-law, and he's got some great stories to tell you about when I talk to him. Maybe tomorrow we can talk a little bit about that. Butch Lewis and James Schuler, James Black Gold Schuler. That was his nephew. But I mean, this is this is why I like hanging around with the OGs. I'm not an OG, bro. I'm just a guy who's been around a little bit longer than you cats and enjoys boxing. But I like to go hang around with the real cats, the guys like Leon Mohammed. You know, they listen to guys like Randy Gordon. You know, guys who've been in this game for a long time. They've met everybody in the game, and they have stories about everybody. And this is what I educate myself with. Well, we got an interesting undercard on the fights tomorrow, man. Everybody's looking forward to seeing Abdullah Mason undefeated, Benjamin Gourmet. I saw him at the weigh-in today. Benjamin didn't look like too much. He's trying to puff his chest out and shit. Got to give him a lot of credit though. He's brought in there as a stepping stone, as a jobber, and it should be interesting, man. That's the fight that most people are looking forward to. That's one of the undercard fights. I heard it was like a dynamite undercard, but I don't see too many names here that I recognize. Mostly top rank fights. Definitely top rank fights, but all top rank fighters coming up, man. Looks like showcase for the undercard. Now, Keyshawn Davis is on this card, isn't he? Keyshawn Davis, and he's taking on Pedraza. Pedraza is a former 2-division champ. He always gets beat in the big fights. You know, beaten by Lomachenko. Arnold Barboza Jr. got a couple of recent losses. He lost to he had a draw with Richard Comey. Beaten by Jose Ramirez. I'm going through his record right now. Lost to Jose Zapata, Lomachenko, fight that we all remember. But I mean, he's a seasoned veteran. This is a test for Abdullah Mason, but Abdullah Mason is a special fighter. He's gonna be doing some amazing things in there. Keyshawn Davis, he just got fucked for weed for failing a drug test, which was ironic because that was in Texas, and they also changed the results of his fight to a no contest because of that failed drug test. And he had a 90-day, was it a 6-month suspension or a 90-day? I guess it was 90-day because that fight was in October. It was in October, November, January, February. 90-day suspension. He's back in the ring. But that, like I said, man, that was Texas, and it's weird because reefer right now, it's some states like Nevada, Las Vegas, don't even test for it in the urines. Where at Texas, the epicenter in Dallas, they tested them, and and it was a banned substance by the athletic commission, the Texas State Athletic Commission. So he had his victory turned to a no contest, and he lost his he has the WBC USA Championship and the WBO Intercontinental title. So it's going to be kind of a welcome home fight for Keyshawn Davis. I know he said he likes his reefer. Good man. Stick to the herb, my brother. I'm gonna be in your corner tomorrow, Keyshawn. You know, Pedraza only been stopped once. So it's gonna be an interesting night of boxing. Ali, Joe Louis. See, I forgot about this over here, man. Put this up here. Ali, Joe Louis, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, Vladimir Klitschko, Sonny Liston are the 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. In your opinion? I always like to, we always make these. That's what we are. We're a group of people who make opinions on there, and we must understand there's going to be somebody that's going to be shown that they'll be throwing some names in there that aren't on there. Somebody's going to throw a Jack Dempsey in there. Do you have him on there? Somebody will throw a Sonny Liston in there. So, man, oh, you got Sonny Liston up there. Okay, man. But you never know with these people today. They all have, and you're in the land of Wakanda. You don't have Deontay Wilder on that list, bro? Come on, man. But, those are all great heavyweights, and I'm sure they're absolutely top 10 heavyweights in anybody's list, man. Vladimir or Vitaly? One of them was Vitaly was the better boxer. Vladimir had that great right hand. If you could make one individual out of both of those two, that would have been something. But there are some fantastic heavyweights in this world, man. And you almost have them in order there too, bro. You could pretty much say, hey, this is the order that I have them in, and nobody's gonna argue with you. That's your top 10. That's your top 10, and man, you can carve that out in stone, bro. Let's see what happened on this day in boxing. Aside from the amazing Ray Mercer, Larry Holmes fight, let's check out what happened today on this day in boxing. Tony Zale, victory over Oscar Boyd back in 1946. Harold Johnson defeats Jesse Browdery via 9th round KO to win the vacant NABA light heavyweight title. NBA, which later became the WBA. 19-year-old Muhammad Ali in his fifth pro fight defeats Jim Robinson with a first-round knockout. And of course, on 1992, the fight that we're talking about on this show here, man. There was another awesome fight on this day too. I know it was kind of an eerie fight, man. Hey, Demetrius Price, salute, man. When Lennox Lewis won the vacant heavyweight title from Oliver McCall, and that was after Oliver McCall had beat Lennox Lewis for the title, and I guess he was stripped of it. This was a vacant title. It's weird, but that was a strange fight, man. Oliver McCall kind of had a nervous breakdown in the ring. Demetrius Bright, man. Vladimir just did not have a chin, for sure, bro, for sure. Lennox Lewis was lucky. Vlad got that deep cut. I don't know, man. That was Lennox Lewis's last fight too. He was kind of lucky, but that was another one where we never know what would have happened because it seemed like Lennox Lewis was starting to come on. Seemed like Vitaly was starting to slow down a little bit. And, you know, we saw what happened earlier with Vitaly with Chris Bird when he threw his shoulder out, and so many what ifs in boxing. But that was truly a great fight, man. That was a freebie, I believe, too, man. Was that a Showtime or regular TV? I don't remember. I remember sitting here watching that fight, and it was Vitaly's gonna beat him. Vitaly's gonna beat him. And he's beating him to the punch. He's counter punching him. But then, man, that cut, and Vitaly was pissed too. He didn't want to lose that fight. Like I said, man, in 1997, Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall had beaten Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis went to see Emmanuel Stewart. He got a new trainer. He learned he learned different variations, man, and he came back and he was too much for Oliver McCall. But Oliver McCall, it's almost like he had a nervous breakdown in the ring that night. He was in rehab. I heard stories where Don King picked him up at the rehab and drove him to the fight. With Lennox Lewis, Oliver McCall did the unthinkable a few months earlier, knocking out Lennox Lewis to win the title, giving Lennox Lewis his first defeat. And this was the rematch. Oliver McCall was crying in the ring. See, Oliver McCall, he was stopped in this fight, but Oliver McCall never got knocked out in his life, never got knocked down. He had a chin of iron. He used to go and Oliver McCall used to go and spar with Mike Tyson. Tyson loved Oliver McCall. That was his best sparring partner. They called him the Atomic Bull out of Chicago. Oliver McCall loved his crack. That was a problem with Oliver McCall. He loved the drugs, man. That was a sad thing, man. The 90s and the 80s, a lot of the great fighters, their lifestyle messed up everything, man. You know, I think fighters today are a little wiser in that department, a little bit smarter there. They're taking the heed. They're seeing what it did to some of these fighters who could have been all-time greats. But yeah, that's in 1997 on this day. And also in 2019, man, I didn't even realize it. I forgot all about that, the anniversary of it. So I usually look at these things in the morning, but today was a funky day. I had to get out early, do a lot of shit. Anyway, this is the anniversary of the death of Rocky Lockridge in 2019. And Rocky Lockridge was an amazing fighter. Fought out in New Jersey. Fought with Lou Duva. He was on the Olympic team that didn't go to the Olympics. It was the 1980 Olympic team. But man, he was something. He was something when he was boxing, man. Let's check out Rocky's record, because man, I watched Rocky all through his career. Some of the greatest fights back in the day, back on ABC's Wide World of Sports and on Sports World, man. You know, like I said, he started off with Lou Duva. The first time I read about Rocky is when he fought Gerald Hayes. Gerald Hayes was a veteran of about 35 fights. Rocky beat him, and these are all fights that happened at the Ice World, at in New Jersey at Giant Stadium, Robert Treat Hotel, all different venues. Lou Duva would get these fights happening in all different places. In Tottawa, the Great George Playboy Club in McAfee, You know, he was a veteran of the New Jersey circuit. Then he went to Subito Pedrosa, the the great featherweight champion, man. Subito Pedrosa from Panama. He came to New Jersey, and everybody thought it was going to be a short thing for Rocky Lockridge. And Subito Pedrosa beat him by split decision. It was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking, and we thought that was it, man. You know, Rocky was done. He came back. He worked his way back, and he fought Juan Laporte. Juan Laporte, man. Juan Laporte, whatever you want to call him, from New York, out of Puerto Rico, former featherweight champ. Knocked out Rocky Lockridge in the second round. This was supposed to be the return of Rocky, man. But Juan Laporte stopped those plans. But he went on. He fought Pedrosa again, man. This time he went to Italy, a rematch with Pedrosa, and he lost a unanimous decision to Pedrosa in that fight. Then he beat Cornelius Boza Edwards, man. See, I'm going through his record here, and I couldn't recite this off the top of my head, but when I'm seeing these fights, I remember watching them, man, like it was yesterday. He beat Cornelius Boza Edwards. It put him back in the driver's seat again. And one of the greatest fights you ever want to see, bro. This is for the WBA super featherweight title. This is Rocky Lockridge against Roger Mayweather. This was an unbelievable fight, man. Fucking Rocky Lockridge come in the ring. First of all, Roger Mayweather, he comes in, he got the shades on, he got the sombrero. He was badass. He was showman like you would not believe. Rocky Lockridge came in the ring, knocked him out in the first round. Devastating knockout. Rocky Lockridge is now the WBA super featherweight champion. He loses it to another legend, the great Wilfredo Gomez, former junior featherweight, now becoming a 3-division champion. So Wilfredo Gomez, the legacy moves on. Rocky Lockridge is kind of in a funk right now, getting beat by Wilfredo Gomez, a great fighter. Then he had another fantastic fight. He met an undefeated 52-0 fighter, man, by the name of Julio Cesar Chavez, and this fight was on Sports World back in 1986 on NBC Sports World on a Sunday afternoon, I believe. He lost a majority decision to Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, he fought a dude that's a friend of mine on Facebook, man, Tony the Tiger Lopez. Like I'm gonna send him a message after this, man. And shout out to Tony the Tiger Lopez. He lost 2 back-to-back fights once again on Sports World to Tony Lopez, and then he was just kind of a stepping stone after that. A named fighter got beat by Rafael Ruelas of the famous Ruelas brothers and Shamba Mitchell, and he retired. He retired with a record of 44 wins, 9 losses. Only got that one knockout loss. And to Juan Laporte. He died on this day. 2019, 5 years ago. Wow, man. I wish I had caught that earlier. I would have. Well, hey, man, we just kind of did a mini tribute to Rocky Lockridge. Great fighter out of New Jersey. I don't know what town in New Jersey. I'm sure it's real easy to figure out. Was it Newark? Man, I'm not sure if it was Newark. Tacoma, Washington. Oh, he was from Tacoma, Washington, and came east to fight with the Duvers. I knew he was from Tacoma too, man. It's funny because I'm looking at that, but he always but he fought out in New Jersey, fought for Duver. He was in that triple threat gym. Died on this day 5 years ago. Not an old man either, man. Not an old man. 60 years old. From my generation. To see how he died. That's one of the beauty things about having a freaking computer these days, man. You can just a few
instances you would have recorded with John here. He went down to Brazil outside of São Paulo.
Yeah, I know he had some trouble with the law. Okay, man, and drugs. Rocky returns with his family to Tacoma in 1991, 18 months following his retirement from boxing. And he and Carolyn separated shortly after that due to financial stress and Rocky's drug addiction. 30 months after his original retirement, Rocky attempted a comeback under a new management team in Washington. But both his fights in this period ended in losses. In 1993, he moved back to Camden, New Jersey alone. He began working as a painter for a drum and barrel company, and he was arrested for burglary, sentenced to 5 years probation. 3 years later, he was arrested on a similar charge and served 27 months in prison before being released in 1999. He spent the following years homeless, living on a monthly $140 in food stamps provided by the government, as well as a pocket change from panhandling. He suffered a stroke in 2006. So, Rocky Lockridge is a sad case, man, what drugs did to boxers back then. And it's just ironic, man. He died on this day. It's just one of these weird things, man. One of these weird things, and it happens when you delve into the history of boxing. So a lot of funky shit happened on this day, man. Larry Holmes and merciless Ray Mercer. Rocky Lockridge passing away at 60, homeless, broke, and victim of a lot of bad choices in the game. But man, I appreciate everybody that stopped in here just to say hello, talk a little boxing, and tomorrow night I'm going to be in here for a while because we got live boxing. I know it's on ESPN and anybody can watch it wherever and whenever they like. But if you want to come in here and have a few tokes with Bruce Gas, I'll be here, man. I'm going to have the cartridge, my new thing here. See, every time I find a new way to ingest the cannabis, it's my new thing, and I'll do it until I get tired of it. And then I'll come back and do it again. Well, we want to thank our band in the back there, man, the David Mooney Quintet. Keep us going with their spicy progressive jazz with that electric guitar, reminiscent of Wes Montgomery. I'll probably drink a little more water, change the toka tube, put the dog out, go bopping around YouTube a little bit, man, see who's doing a live, and maybe be lucky and hit the sack by midnight. But in the meantime, my friends, my brothers and sisters, and anybody out there who wants to be included, I'm out of here. Peace.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Token 2. I had to drop a track with my boy. Yeah, I've been here rapping boys out here telling fake I'm the hardest. nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas put no fights on the tape. Calling that Boston since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fake. On the people simple like Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas. One day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. We gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down. Take a hit out the Toka too. Slipping hella shots. Feel like Tyson with the people. Little Glock on my side, but it hit just like the crew. Shout out, man. Chat real shit. That's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sin. Bruce pass me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Hey, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you could never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the street, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the street, gotta do it for the champ. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want